Welcome back. You're watching Biz Lounge, and Debjani Ghosh, the head of Intel India, is with us today. But before we take our conversation forward, here's a taste of what a day in the Intel office is like.
Food. It's all about food for us.
She's always talking about trying to eat less, but she, I don't think she's able to follow that very much, because whenever there is something good to eat in the office, she's always there.
As a team, our lunchtime is very, very sacred. We like to sit together. We like to eat food, especially a few people bring very good food, so they get attacked.
He's a very fun-loving person, which is good, because things can get stressful in a corporate environment.
Someone who brings a lot of enthusiasm to the job and to the office, and cheerfulness, bubbliness, and most importantly, that thing rubs off everyone.
We do use our little breaks, whether it's the lunch hour or when we have time, maybe going out for a movie together or going bowling together. The role of a leader is to run yourself out of a job at the earliest possible by building people who can take on what you do and maybe even do it better.
Apart from the meetings, etc., that you keep doing, it's actually like a party time all day long.
Tell us how Intel happened for you.
Interesting. Happened 18 years back. Mm-hmm. I was fresh out of Management Institute, SPGen. I dabbled in advertising for a very short while. And then I got a call from Intel. Mm-hmm. And they were looking out for a marketing manager. And they said, "Dear, do you want to come and interview?" At the same time, I was interviewing with a few other companies, which were considered the blue chip companies at that point in time in India. Nobody knew Intel. And I came back from Intel and told my dad, "Okay, I'm joining Intel." And he was shocked. He was like, "How can you do this? Are you sure you want to do this?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure I want to do it." And the reason for that was just one thing, Vaishali. Walked into the Intel meeting, and I met with this woman, Deborah Conrad, who was then head of marketing for APAC. She's today our worldwide chief marketing officer. I was so impressed to see a woman sitting in an interview. The entire conversation was absolutely brilliant. It was about me, about my work, about my career aspirations. Not once in that interview did she ask me about my marriage plans. Did she ask me about my plans to have kids, or etc., etc. And I just knew this was the place for me.
What are some of the biggest challenges you face being a woman leader at the top of the organization and also one of the few women leaders in the industry?
Most frustrating one is, I'm sort of getting tired of walking into meetings and then being told, "Oh, you're a woman." It's pretty obvious I am one. So I think that's sort of the one that's most frustrating. I've never let that be a thought in my mind, that I'm a woman leader and therefore there must be something different. And I think as a woman, there's just some added benefits to it, the way I see it. We can empathize much more with people, and that is a fact. I strongly believe we have the ability to multitask much more than our male counterparts. No disrespect, but that's the way nature has made us, right? And I think the third one, especially when times are tough, and when you're faced with a lot of tough choices, situation, I just think we are able to be a little bit more calm in our decision making, and a little bit more rational in our decision making, which again helps tremendously.
And what are your thoughts on gender equality in corporate India?
Well, before we even get to corporate India, right, I think gender equality in India is a shame. From the time a child is born, if it's a boy, you grow up with the sentiment that you are better, you are superior, and the parents are doing that. The mother, who's a woman herself, is doing that. And that carries into corporate India. Corporate India, I think it's more controlled and can be controlled. For example, in Intel, we have zero tolerance towards any kind of bias. I honestly think we worry about fiscal deficit, we worry about foreign direct investment impacting India. I honestly think the biggest challenge that India faces is this huge divide we have between the genders. The day we start treating each other as equals, the day we start treating each other with respect, that day the country is going to make real progress.
Debjani, how have you seen yourself growing as a professional and a leader through the last 18 years?
Oh my God! Started off at Intel as a kid. It's been a long journey. My journey in Intel taught me two things. One is to believe in myself. That was a key learning that I will always cherish. The second one was as you grow as a leader, it's much more about your team and than you. Build a really strong team and make sure they can do the job even better than you so that you're not needed anymore. And the day you've done that, you're a strong leader. You've succeeded as a leader. And that's pretty much the philosophy I've tried to follow. Whenever I hire people, I always try to make sure I'm hiring people who have capabilities that I do not have. Who can bring in something different. And I think that has really helped.
When you were in college, we read that you had a job at Taj Hotels peeling onions and potatoes.
A few days, yeah.
Okay.
It didn't last too long.
Well, any lessons that were learned from that experience?
Actually, I'd just come back from, we were in Africa, and I was very keen to come back to India. My parents were there, they were settled there in Kenya. So when I finished my schooling, I said, okay, this is it. I'm packing my bags and I'm going back to India. So I landed up here, and I was in Mumbai pretty much on my own, without knowing anyone or anything. And I knew I wanted to do my MBA, but I was sort of, there was time for the exams and stuff, and I had to earn some pocket money. So that's when I walked into Taj and I requested them for a job. And, the kitchen was a disaster. Didn't work for me.
No.
But then because I knew multiple languages, etc., I was in their international marketing department, which was great fun because working with so many different people across the world, and that was fun. It was a very short time, but it was good.
Stay with us for more. We'll be right back.